following program is a special presentation of the Big Ten Network, produced in association with Michigan State University.
Welcome to MSU Today. I'm Jim Peck. Here's what's coming. The story of hope. Green cap and gown. The landmine game. Egg drop. Overcoming challenges. Working in television and media is a big dream for a lot of people, and some seem to be able to overcome almost any challenges in trying to get there. Meet Hope.
You're going to take three in three,
2,
1, take 3, Mike and Cure.
If Governor Granholm signs the bill, the band will take...
Hope, who's in our class, and she was in my class last semester too, she's going to be anchoring, and she's visually impaired, and I don't even know how she does it.
I'm Hope Springstead.
And I'm Tamara Johnson. Welcome to Focal Point.
I had the opportunity to anchor the Focal Point News show today.
Tap Hope.
Coming after the break,
Perfect.
Students sign up.
Talking to Hope, she had told me that she wants to be the first blind anchor. And I mean, Hope's an inspiration, honestly. I mean, I couldn't imagine doing what she does with that same disability. It's inspiring.
Push 2, dissolve 2, Mike and Cue.
It's just really impressive because definitely like everything we do, you know, is visual. You know, we put television stories together so people watch TV. We help her out as much as we can. Still, I don't know how she manages, but she does, and she produces good work, so that's pretty impressive.
Though MSU suffered a tough loss in the Final Four, a victory can be celebrated right here in East Lansing.
Do you see it go off?
Troy
Okay.
and
So
I, mostly Troy, developed a system, a lighting system, so that I can look at the camera at the proper time and focus on it, so that I am able to cue in and cue out when necessary.
I've been teaching Hope for the last 2 semesters, so I taught her in a radio class and I taught her an intro to television. And it's kind of always been a challenge to figure out what to do with her when she's going to anchor.
Light, and then tap Hope on the light, and then Hope starts reading.
Luckily, Hope can still see lights and some shapes. So I came to her one time with my cell phone, and I opened up the cell phone. I said, "Hope, can you see this light?" And it took her a little while to see it, so I realized that that light was way too dark for her to be able to see. So I came up with a couple of these lights that I got from a local hardware store. Better? And I brought them in, shined them at her, and she could see them right away. So I said, great. So we basically tried to put these lights on the desk, basically where she had to look, and if she looked over top of the light and right past the light, she would be looking right into a camera. And Hope can't see the cameras that far away, but if we shine the light on her, she'll be able to switch from one camera to the other.
Take 3, Mike and Cue.
Last Sunday was one of the holiest days of the year.
She has a little keyboard that she uses it's a braille that pops up and she can read from that. So that's what she's going to use in the form of her teleprompter.
It's pretty much like a laptop, Windows laptop, but instead of having an actual monitor, we have a braille display. I can read everything from right here, whatever I have stored in here.
So go back to camera 2. Perfect.
Well, I think she's got a lot of potential, and she really wants to do it. And she doesn't consider, I think, her impairment as a handicap. She really wants to try and do what she can.
3, 2, 1.
I think it's kind of cool that she wants to do this and try and break the barriers that maybe other those who are disabled, couldn't do before.
That's our show for tonight.
Now we leave you with music from the jazz concert at the College of Music. Good night.
Good night.
You probably know that Michigan State is all about green and white. Turns out when it comes to cap and gown, it's mostly green.
Go ahead and take that off and we'll do hat size.
It turns out in any commencement, we waste so much energy. It's amazing.
Ah, graduation, a time of excitement, celebration, and massive energy consumption? You mean you didn't know?
When I think about green commencement, what usually goes through my head is it's people who are trying and they're turning a corner.
So MSU is going green. Well, we're already green, but, you know, in different ways now.
They are new this semester, so what we had last semester was a little bit darker, shinier material, but these are recycled, so better, I guess, in most people's minds.
Thank you for purchasing your green gown, recycled cap and gown, recycled green gown by returning your green gown to the Spartan Spirit Shop in the MSU Union Building. They'll ship it back to the recycling center.
The goal is that you don't want it to feel like it's going to fall off.
Recycled graduation gear. So every speck of green here in this sea of green is completely recycled. Each cap was made from one 20-ounce plastic bottle. The gowns, 12 bottles. In total, 58,500 plastic bottles were recycled to create all these green caps and gowns. And those caps and gowns, you guessed it, they can be recycled.
Definitely in the past has been caused a lot of waste, so it does feel good that it is going to good use.
Most people are kind of impressed. It's interesting to think that plastic bottles are making what you're walking across stage in. So most people are impressed or excited about the change.
Clearly, I feel great. We're going green, and we're being Spartan green.
Yeah, I have no use for it afterwards, so I think it's a good idea that some people like to for sentimental value, but I really don't see any use for it afterwards. Someone else can put it to a good use. I think that's great.
And being green for graduation is not only good for the environment, but good for the pocketbook as well.
You'll save a lot of money if you actually become green because energy costs are getting pretty high. And I bet you President Simon, if she looks at the bottom line, she sees a lot of money being used in energy here. So it's putting money in your pocket if you do a good job. And so hopefully the same is true for commencement.
And seeing all of these recycled water bottles proudly picking up their diplomas, well, it may be just what it takes for us to think about being green in a different way.
What I really was happy about the green commencement was how well coordinated it was.
That was terrific. I mean, wearing those green garments that are all made of recycled materials, looking at just the faces of the kids, they're so aware of the energy crisis. If we had a country that was as aware as the students at this university about the challenges we face in energy, we wouldn't have an energy crisis.
If we wish to have like a sustainable future, and if we wish to really be Spartan green, as they like to say, I think this is a step in the right direction.
This is a great, great demonstration of what we need to be doing. And what's so cool is that a school like Michigan State is at the forefront of that battle, not being led. They're the ones leading.
You can learn a lot from video games, and it turns out you can learn a lot from landmines. And you put them together, and well, take a look.
I'm the visiting assistant professor here at Michigan State, and I'm the lab manager of the mine lab here.
Press left and right on the pad to turn, and up to walk forward.
Corey Bohill is making a difference.
Everybody is, I think, aware now of the worldwide problem of landmines.
Find food for your pet while avoiding danger.
There are organizations that are going in and trying to remove as much of this stuff as possible, but that's a slow process.
Along with a group of student researchers, Corey is trying to make the world safer for children.
And so another part of the equation is what's called mine risk education, which is an attempt to try to teach people, particularly kids, what to try to spot in the environment and just to stay away from.
These indicators mean it might be dangerous. Don't walk forward.
The way that's typically done now is to distribute photographs. Little photo books and are handed out in these communities, these rural communities in places like Cambodia and Vietnam. And the idea is that you'll look at this book and you'll get a sense of what these things are that you should avoid.
So Corey and his team are taking a different approach. They're developing a new, exciting, and entertaining way to teach children to spot dangers in their environment.
We've been working on a video game that uses mobile technology to try and teach kids in war-torn countries how to learn to recognize and avoid dangerous items or potentially dangerous locations in their environments.
You chose tides.
This is obviously a mortar shell.
The game is pretty simple. You choose a digital pet, and your goal is to find them food. To do that, you have to safely navigate them through an environment littered with landmines and other dangerous stuff.
The idea is one of the indicators is like if this is some animal remains that have been there for quite some time, particularly a domesticated animal, just want to avoid that.
The game uses real-life images and locations that the player will be familiar with. They need to be able to spot danger and stay away from it.
And the inspector will come onto the screen and point and say, this is what you need to avoid.
This video game uses little computing power and can be loaded onto these inexpensive laptops for distribution to children all over the world.
We intend to send it out for field testing in Cambodia, and so we'll get some feedback back with respect to how does it compare in terms of learning compared to just photographs that we hand you. As well as things like how easy is it for kids to learn, just to figure out how to play the thing.
The project, just one more step to help children and transform our world.
He finds his food and he's happy, so he dances around. And
coming up next on MSU Today, the egg drop.
If you've been watching our show or checking us out online, you know that you can learn a lot from our Jeffrey Weisenbaugh. I never knew, and you probably didn't either, that if you're looking to drop an egg, he may be just the right guy.
I'm here at the MSU School of Packaging for their 5th annual egg drop event, and I'm assuming these are the eggs we're going to be using. I don't know if they just have them laying around, but here are some eggs, and here is a singular egg. The whole goal of this meeting, of this gathering, of this competition, to protect this egg with all of our might of packaging and safety and things like that.
Well, what we've got going here is an egg drop contest, which we do every year.
Okay, and then that's $2.
What? I left my wallet in the car. Okay. I'm just gonna.
We opened it up to 75 teams for students with and without the major.
Parachutes seem to be the plan. There's a lot of things you can make a parachute out of here, it looks like. Some sort of Zeppelin, I'm not sure.
Basically, we're going to be giving them all materials.
So what are these items for during the event?
Anyone can either use the box for the packaging of the eggs, or they can cut it apart, and the bubble wrap can be used for insulation within.
And what are these objects?
Well, the scissors can be used to cut anything.
Oh, so to be safe with them.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a running event?
Frankly, it's about 90% fun and networking.
And this is the refreshments they have, like on the side and stuff like that, so people can just eat.
I wouldn't say it's intense. Us packaging majors, we're not the Emmys or anything. You know, we keep it laid back, but it's still it's a fun atmosphere, I think. So I wouldn't be too intimidated.
Winning team gets $300, second place team gets $200, third place team gets $100.
I'm gonna sit over here. This will be my little area.
Oh, to win it, I'd say think small and think light. So try and stick your egg in there and come up with a way to protect it with the bubble wrap. I think that's going to be it. So if you want the key, I think you wrap it with the bubble wrap.
I thought these were like a neck guard you could put behind your neck so when we're watching the eggs drop, you don't hurt your neck.
He tends to cheat.
But these are the rules, I think.
Okay. Maybe not cheat. But, he may get a little, he may be kind of looking over people's shoulders. Do you think somebody's gonna elbow him, anything like that?
Oh yeah. I mean, when prizes and money are in the equation for college students, I would definitely say he's going to be frowned upon if he decides to cheat.
Well, that's a great idea. I think, do you need help with anything? This is going to be a good team. This is going to be a good team. I can already tell. Any hints? Anything? Here are the supplies that she said to use.
If he finds a way to cheat and nobody knows, he gets the 300.
I may have somehow obtained
a few extras.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Okay.
Can you barter for those?
Yes.
They're getting the target set up and getting the entrance put into a computer so that they can quickly determine who the winners are later on. And then they'll be dropping from the mezzanine that you see here.
Do you see that? It's like, have you seen those things like on the space program uses when they try to land rovers? I just built it in less than 15 minutes. Done. She said this was like lots of words, poly egg cartonage, and I plan to maybe use this. But that's not innovation. If you use another product, that's not innovation. I'm going NASA. I'm going NASA on this egg drop. Am I allowed to get a test egg again? Test egg? Test egg?
There's a nice splatter shield. I'm sure no one will actually have broken eggs. I'm sure everybody will be successful, but just in case.
3, 2, 1.
This is the final product going to test this bad boy. Here we go.
3, 2, 1.
That's right. That's amazing. Big 10. Here we go, here we go. And yes! Not broken. There we go.
Are you shocked?
Actually, I am. I thought it. No, actually, no. No, I'm not shocked. I knew it was going to work all along. Yeah.
Some type of creative.
Woo! Okay, okay.
Round of applause for our winners.
Yes, victory. You know, when working with eggs, I always say, better to use protection.
For those with disabilities and other challenges, there's a program at MSU that can help lead you to success. Take a look at our CPD.
The Resource Center for Persons with Disabilities is focused on helping students become fully integrated into the MSU mission, functions, and programs. We work to integrate students into all aspects of campus life. Our slogan, maximizing ability and opportunity, is one we're quite proud of. It really talks directly to our core mission, and that is to keep people involved in the programs and to really help them reach beyond maybe even where they think they can go to maximize their ability and all the opportunities that a higher educational institution brings.
Just got to have an education. You've got to be able to separate yourself from the other person walking down the street that wants the same job. You've got to have some kind of marketable skill that, to allow you to do that. And that's what Michigan State gave me.
My ADHD and minor cerebral palsy manifested itself into high test anxiety. During class, I would just blank out and couldn't finish it in time. And it wasn't until my second semester that someone directed me towards the department and changed my life.
Our CPD does a lot of stuff for a lot of students. Last I heard, there was, I think, 1,200 students that are served through our CPD. And, I mean, they help us with tests, they help us with getting books, with tons of stuff. And if it wasn't for our CPD, I'm not sure I would make it too far in college.
It's a great opportunity for students to come here to reach their goals. That's what the RCPD is all about, trying to help students achieve their educational goals. This is a great institution to do that.
RCPD does not force you to jump through hoops. It doesn't make you feel different. That's the difference. If you're feeling like they're going to feel sorry for you and you don't want people to see you as a really different person, that just doesn't happen with RCPD.
By the time students graduate here, I think many of them have learned to reframe disability into a new, unique experience. They'll call them challenges, they'll call them life-changing events, but most of the time students find their disabilities here have just enriched their perception of the world.
To accept the help of the RCPD, it took a lot for me to accept my disability. I had to learn to work with it and to actually see it as a strength. And I think in a lot of ways, having it has given me a better appreciation for what it takes to get through a class. Gaining knowledge through the RCPD of my disability set me free.
Everybody here is really set on helping students reach their full potential. And we know that that doesn't happen by chance. We know it doesn't happen if we get too involved. We know it's most effectively done if we can partner with them and kind of push them, set their goals high, support them when things get tough, and really help them realize their full potential.
As I've looked over thought about the number of students who have benefited from this program that are now very successful alumni, that number is pretty extraordinary.
Without the staff, without the specialists, without the accommodations, I would not have graduated.
I could not have gotten a quality education, engineering degree that I received if it hadn't been for Michigan State's accommodations of the physically challenged at that time.
10 years ago, I would have never told you I would be teaching anything or anyone, but at MSU, I've kind of learned that I can do just about anything.
I'm Jim Peck. That's it for MSU Today. For more, head to the website.
Michigan State University in association with the Big Ten Network.